Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks. We have a great group already here. I want to give a shout out to all of you. And Susan, of course, who I wanted to tell you one thing. I used to hate Sundays. I never liked them ever. And now they're my favorite day of the week. So there we
Yay!
go. There we go. Yay. So welcome to Terry Suzuki. Is it Suzuki? Is it Suzuki?
Suzuki, yeah.
Okay, was one of Susan and Kim's students in her mediumship class, and she's taking her psychic class as well. So welcome to her, and I know you'll see a lot of your peers over here in the chat that are also um, here with us this morning. So I'm going to open with one thing here, and then I'm going to turn this over to Susan because I want Susan to give us an opening. But I was reading something about the Silva Mind Control, a book. That sounds so awful. It sounds like programming, but it actually is helping you to manifest things that you want and to be a better person. And one of the things that came out of it was every day, in every way, I am getting better and better and better. And so have that be your mantra for the day to everybody. God bless you.
That sounds
Okay,
like a
Susan.
great mantra to have all the time.
It is. It definitely is.
And
Yeah.
since we're sharing mantras, I'll share one. This is from Louise Hay, and a
Okay.
client reminded me of this. And this is like you could say this is a limerick, and just let it play like constantly in your head. My income is always increasing. I prosper wherever I turn. My income is always increasing and I prosper wherever I turn. Just let that be a limerick that you play in your head along with the one that Allie said. This will be recorded so you can always wait till we're done and come back and replay it. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
it's in the very beginning, obviously. So anyway, it really works, right? We need to train
Yeah.
our brain to be more positive. And I think especially right now,
Right.
especially
We need
right
it more than
now.
ever. Yeah, we do. We need it more than ever. Yeah, absolutely. So I do want to talk a little bit to Terry before we start today. Terry and I were talking before the show started, and she's had gifts for a very long time, actually. Um, Let us know when they sort of surfaced for you, Terry.
Okay. Well, I'm still learning about them, and I was
Hmm.
learning about them with Susan's help a lot.
Uh-huh.
I kind of think now that I think I had pre-birth memories now, but
Yeah.
the first time that I really noticed that something, I wouldn't say different is happening, but I used to see angels by my bed as a kid. And
Cool.
they were comforting. They were nice. They would light up the place sometimes a little too much, but
Yeah.
they were there. It was nice. Um,
Mhm.
and then I would always see dead people. If any of my loved ones passed over, then they would come
Uh-huh.
talk. And
Wow.
so I never said anything to anybody because I thought I was just a very normal kid and everybody could do that. And that happened to everybody, so why mention it? So I never said a thing because I just thought that happened to everybody. And of course, the other thing I've been finding out as I've started this deliberate journey, um, this must run in my bloodlines because my youngest daughter is a very powerful medium, very, very powerful. My sister is a powerful medium, but she doesn't even know it. And and my brother has just started talking to his spirit guides. So I am this is gonna get really interesting now.
It is. It sounds like your whole family is having a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
I think so. But I have to say kind of COVID for this because I was working from home before God fired me, and I I was thinking because I had a lot more time on my hands and I was more relaxed that there's a whole lot about ourselves that we never tell anybody. And I thought, wouldn't it be a real shame if that someday I died and nobody knew that this was happening to me? Because now I know this doesn't happen to everybody. And so I thought I should start thinking more about this. I should start talking to people. And that's how I found my youngest daughter was a very powerful medium, that she walks into a cemetery and there's people sitting all around wanting flowers, and they're like, nobody visits me anymore. And so she, and then from there I started talking to my brother, and he's injured for life, and he hurts a lot, but he's an artist, and he thought he was going to die. He's just, I'm giving up on life. I'm going to die. See you later, Terri. And something told me to have him watch this one near-death experience, and he watched it, and he called me back, and he's like, I'm alive again. I'm alive. And he's like, I'm doing art again. And he's just like, he said, I can forgive myself for some things that happened and that I did as a youth that I'm really not proud of. And he is alive, and now he's speaking to spirit guides. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing it. And as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't that be a good show? The family, and you could have everybody on, and everybody could, oh my God, you could have a fabulous YouTube / regular programmed television show, Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Susan, you have anything that you want to say? Go ahead.
I would watch that show. I would watch that show. I think that's a great idea for a TV show, honestly. But yeah, I mean, not that your family, Terry's going to all magically be okay with this. But so does your daughter know that she's fully aware of her mediumship, and how is she handling that?
Well, I don't know how much time we got, because with me, everything's a story. I got stories, stories, and stories. But she knows this. And she's known it for a long time, so she's handling it. But just recently, I asked if I could read her tarot cards, and she was like, she is religious, and she's like, from Satan, and she I explained to her that I have to go to the same God she does, to do this. And she said, okay, but I don't want to know the future. And I'm like, but the only reading I know how to do is present, past, future right now. I'm a baby psychic medium. And she's like, well, okay. So she let me read her, and she did exactly what I did the first time I was read. I started to read the cards to her, and she read them. She just read them. She'd never seen a tarot card in her life, and she completely knew what they meant. And in fact, the future card, she ended up doing the whole reading. She kind of rushed ahead of me, and she's like, well, what did you get? And I'm like, I can't do better than that. That was it.
Wow.
And so recently I went to dinner with her, and I had just went to the New Age store and bought 2 new Oracle decks. And I thought I was going to have to stay at the restaurant for a while. And so I brought them with me thinking I'll open them up and get used to them or use them. And I bought one of those little decks that was Aboriginal Dreams. I think that was it. And I took it out of the box and started to shuffle it and stuff. It would not talk to me. It was having nothing. And I'm like, wow, this doesn't work. And she had actually got there early, and she was across from me. And I know you're not supposed to let other people touch your decks, but without even kind of asking, she just reached across and grabbed the deck and started shuffling it. And she put down 2 cards for me, and she said, those aren't right. And they weren't right, but she somehow knew. And then she shuffled again, put down 2 cards. Those aren't right. And it's like, this is not talking to you. So she said, well, let's let it rest a minute. Let's eat, because the food had came. And so we ate. And then afterwards, she was able to pull a card that spoke to me. And I was like, okay, that's yours, your deck. I gave it to her. The deck changed allegiances. It wanted her all along. And this deck is sassy. I mean, sassy. So
What's the name of it again? Aboriginal
Dreams, I think, or Aboriginal Beauty, or something like that. It's a little deck, and she took it to work, and a friend came by, and she said, "Well, pull me a card." And so she pulled a card for her, and it said richness, meaning richness of life. And the girl said, "I don't like that. I want riches." And pull me another card. And the next card she pulled was foolishness.
Ooh, it is sassy. It is sassy. It's like, oh, you're not going to listen to me?
Yeah. And so she put it away because she was training somebody at work, but then she wanted to pull a card again. She just felt like she got to, so she snuck into her office and she shuffled and pulled another card, and it said boldness.
Boldness.
Because she was sneaking.
Like, aren't you a cheeky little,
it's
something.
A cheeky one. And she keeps it on a shelf, and if it wants to go to work with her, it knocks the shelf.
Oh, man. Okay, I don't know about that. That's a lot of power.
Yeah, it's I was worried about her, and I talked to her about it, and she's like, "No, I know what this is. I'm fine. Leave me alone."
You go, girl.
I'm like, okay.
I would have been too. I'd have been like, "You take that deck. You take it."
Yeah.
Well, it is her deck. It's not my deck.
Yeah. Yep.
So I guess we should get started, huh?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Terri. That was very interesting, and maybe we'll have you back to tell more of your stories in a separate, because you've got them and I love them. So, okay, let's take some questions. The first question is from Marg L. What does my deceased cousin Brian think of his sister's cruel treatment of his children, and will she ever admit she's the adult and should not have handled things as she did and apologize to them? Brian is the deceased and Marg is the questioner.
Well, I'm just going to say something that is like a little bee in my bonnet. I know, and this happens to me a lot in readings, and I know that I'm giving them to learn. But I have to say, as the intermediary between the living and the crossed over, when you present to a crossed over person this sort of judgment, like, it could be about anything, or it could just be anger or sadness, like, why did you treat me this way, or why did you do this? It's almost as if you're talking to a person. They're not necessarily going to come through with this, I would like to say that when they've crossed over, they've ascended, right? But if they ascended, you wouldn't recognize their personality. If we were talking to their higher self, you wouldn't recognize that personality at all. So for them to present to you in a way that you recognize their personality, they have to present with all their foibles and their humanity.
Yeah.
And that also gives you another chance to work out questions and problems with their humanity. So I got a little lost in all of that long question. It had to do with somebody that's crossed over and somebody. What was it again? Or do you have anything, Terri, you want to jump in?
Well, I'm getting something very, very similar to you. I'm getting that this is a lesson that she is learning too. And am I muted?
No.
No, it's okay. You echo when Allie's not muted. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I get the sense that this is a lesson for her too, and that she should pray for this sister and just put love and light on her. Learn to recognize that there's some lesson in this for her. She's learning something too. Maybe toleration, maybe, I don't know, but there's something going on here for her.
I feel like Brian is saying, what do you want me to do about it? Like, what can I do? I don't know what to say. He feels very hamstrung or, taught, like limited in his response or whatever he can do. He's almost saying this is a problem of the living, that's kind of what I'm getting from him. I wish I could give you something else, Mark, because I know that you're in the chat. You're a regular, and I appreciate you. And I hope that didn't come across as harsh or whatever. But it's just been my experience that when I try to go over there and have somebody, if I go over there with anything other than love, it's hard to get them to show up. Even emotion, sadness, sometimes they don't want to show up because they can't get past that emotion as sort of a block. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense to me. And I feel like it was a spirit guide talking to me at that point, not Brian.
Yeah. Okay. So here she says thank you, Allie. My cousin Brian is the deceased. Okay. When he died, his sister treated his family very cruelly. When he died, his sister. Okay. She hasn't spoken to them for 14 years, leaving him out. Will his sister learn her lesson? Okay. Great. So it's really could be a spirit guide. It's not even really a question about from Brian. It's like you got, Terri. Cooling down. What a great card.
Oh, wow.
Will his sister learn her lesson? Okay, let me just ask that question. Let's ask that question, Terri. I mean, Terri pretty much dialed into it anyway. She kind of got to the gist of it. I don't see her learning her lesson. Why? We have to be forced. We have to be uncomfortable, typically, to learn a lesson. So I don't really see it. Do you see it? Anybody? Terri?
I don't, because I feel it's her karma. We all will learn our lessons, okay, no matter what. But
Eventually.
I think it'd be better to concentrate on what our sitters left. She should maybe meditate on that. What do you want me to learn from this?
I'd just like to say that when my dad died, my brother and I had a very big parting of the ways. I had two brothers, but the middle brother, he was really angry with me, and he needed to cool down. That's why when I pulled that, I was like, wow.
Oh.
But it took 11 years, and we've been back together, in touch and loving each other now probably for just as long. But it did take a long time, and and if it didn't work itself out, it's going to work itself out later. So
that's it.
One way or the other.
You get to work it out here, or you get to come back and do it all over again.
Right.
Or learn, or maybe learn your lesson up there.
That's right. Thank you, Victoria, for your super sticker. Appreciate it. Okay, the next question is from Carrie World Traveler. Does my spirit guide have a message for me?
Carrie World Traveler. I'm getting so much love, which I don't always get. I mean, not that they don't love you, but this time I just feel so much love. How about you, Terri?
I was meditating the other day, and I went to heaven, and I'm seeing that scene again, and I'm seeing her flying through the air, kind of sparkly and doing barrel rolls. I mean, I'm just seeing joy and love. That's all I'm seeing, joy and love.
That's beautiful. See, that's it. Now, if you're asking for in the future, you guys, because we do this every Sunday at noon Central, in the future, ask a specific question. Does my spirit guide have a question for me about work or my love life or my health or my child, this particular name? the more specific you are with them, the more specific they are with you. Sometimes I feel like they don't want to tip their hands. They don't want to give you information you don't ask for, right? They want you to kind of struggle and learn it on your own. But I think this thing that Terri and I both are picking up, and do you want to pull a card, Allie?
I did. I want you to know I have another deck that I absolutely love called the Sacred Earth Oracle card, and I pulled balance. Look at the beauty in that one. I'm guessing that your spirit guides are suggesting that you balance whatever you need to balance. Look at, there's two sides, the yin and the yang, even though it's red and blue, holding balance together for you. I love these cards just as much as my other ones. Thank you. All right. Ready for the next one? Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another long one. I try to shorten these for you so that we can get to the. All right. So Patricia Ray is the person. She had a reading 2 weeks ago that a Navajo woman was around her pond, walking around her pond in the backyard. She wants to know if this is one of her angels or guides. And she also has a brother named Charles, and she doesn't know if he's alive or dead. She hasn't seen him for a long time.
Well, I'm getting she is definitely a guide. And she should walk with her around the pond. You don't even have to say anything, just walk with her.
As a matter of fact, I think you're not supposed to say anything. You're supposed to just be. She's teaching you to just be in nature, just to be. It's a very serene energy, a very grounded energy. And then as far as her, I'm sorry, you said it was her brother, right? I feel like he's alive. What did you get? Do you get Terri anything?
No, I'm not getting anything on that.
Oops. So I have here that at least the guide is trying to offer you some perspective. These cards, again, are more interesting because they're Native American sacred, sacred earth. Look at the beautiful woman, the angel, actually. So I get that she's one of your guides or angels, definitely. And she has the whole world in her hand. But she's also pregnant with possibility, it looks to me.
That is so interesting because the guide, I saw her walking around the pond and she's wearing a dark blue velvet top, like the old-fashioned Navajo tops, but it was, she was wearing something else at first and then it turned into that. And I was like, oh, she's really real. But wow, all that blue in the card.
Fantastic. Well, I hope that helps, Patricia.
Yes, I hope so too. I love these cards just like I love my other ones. Harry's mom says she's seeing a sidewalk with the brother. Could he be homeless? Okay, thank you.
I don't think he's
not
I don't
passed.
know that he's doing well, but he
Right.
is alive.
Yep. Oh, hi, Tanya Longus. I know you're coming in from way far away, so thank you for being here. Victoria Bates has a question. Looking for a side gig for extra cash. Does my spirit team or crossed loved ones have any suggestions for me?
What was the first name again?
It is Victoria Bates.
Oh, Victoria. Okay.
Yeah.
Side gig. Right off the bat, I'm getting something creative. For some reason, I'm just seeing something that's got creativity that you create. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be art. I mean, it could be, but I'm also seeing, I don't think this is it, but it reminds me it's something not far from it. Have you guys seen these people that are doing these, especially because of COVID, they're doing these signs in the yard that have a big happy birthday, and it's like an independent H and an AA and a P, and you can order them and they'll come and put them in the yard and then take them away. I don't think it's exactly that, but it's something like that you create, and it has more commercial feeling to me than art. Did you get anything, Terri? I mean, I could be way off.
I got creative too, but I just got something weird. So
Go ahead,
I got
tell us.
carrots. I got carrots, and I at first when I saw the carrots, I thought, oh, she's supposed to grow carrots and be a little farmer. And then I'm like, oh no, now I see them on a painted rock or painted on something. I don't know. I'm seeing carrots and orange. So there you go.
Well, orange is the color for creativity, I think.
Oh, see, I don't know my colors very well
I
yet.
don't either. I just know one or two, and I'm pretty sure you guys can correct me. We need Kim. Medium Kim is the color.
She's the color expert
here,
Yeah.
but she's probably working.
Could it be carrots? Like you saw a carrot, but maybe it's maybe she could work in a jewelry store or make jewelry.
It could be. I often get things like that where it says carrot, but it's not really an actual vegetable.
And also, we always say, do you want the stick or the carrot?
Oh.
So the carrot is sort of like a temptation, right?
Yes.
Like
it's a metaphor. Yes. Sometimes, sometimes, like many other things, sometimes it speaks to us in metaphor. Here I got that you will get your inspiration.
Oh my God.
You just got to listen. Okay. You'll get it. It's going to come. It's going to come. And, you want to do something you enjoy, because if you're going to do a side gig, you don't want to be doing something tedious and boring or not. Yeah. So
maybe carrots mean something to her.
Maybe they do. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question. The next question is for Patty M. She wonders if her brother Vicente has any messages for her or her parents.
Patty M. Vicente. Allie, what are you getting? I know you got something.
I get repetition.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay.
What
you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I know we've read on this before, so I think that's why repetition was brought out in the card. I know we have. I got the sense that Vicente is like, I gave you a message. I want you to know, and I love you dearly, and I love mom and dad. But, you need to move on. You need, in other words, not, and I'm not trying to be rude here at all.
Right.
But
you're just saying
that
she trusts her own knowledge.
Right. Knowing and know that he is fine and he loves you and he's with you and that repetition doesn't make that different. So you won't get a different message. You're just going to get the same.
I
don't remember reading that, but I don't remember my readings. What did you get, Terri?
I can see Vicente, and at least the person I'm seeing has dark hair, dark mustache, a tiny bit of a pot belly. He looks fun. He's a happy guy, and all I'm really getting from him is he loves her. He loves her and mom and dad, and he just wants to reiterate that I love you. And it looks like he is jolly, kind of like if he were there, he'd be putting his arms around them and hugging them hard. But he's not a guy that's shy or holds his feelings back.
Patty M says yes. Good job, you guys. Good job. That's interesting because I got that guy and then I got another guy, a completely different looking guy. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out which one of these two is Vicente. So I'll go to you two and see what you guys get. So you did great, Terri. So
thank you.
yes, he sends his love, but I don't feel like, even though I think he is able to show his emotion, I don't feel like he's a chatter. I don't feel like he's going to talk. I don't feel like that. So I think that's why he gave, get it the right direction. Allie, the message that I've already, I'm good. I love you guys. Like, stop asking. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But he loves you. He loves you, dear. He's like, she knows. It's almost like when you have a son and you keep asking them, do you love me? Mom, it's that kind of energy, right? Of, I love you guys. I love you guys. And also, he's busy. She dreamed about him twice. She's saying he's busy doing something. It's almost like he's like, I love you guys. I got to go. So
That's
good
awesome.
meeting you guys. Great job.
And Patty, I wasn't at all trying to be rude about it. I just thought about, why it came up that way. Somebody is Medium Kim's nephew, Will, 2 years old.
Yes,
has COVID.
COVID. I saw that.
Oh,
I didn't want to interrupt our flow.
Yeah,
we ought to. We should just say a prayer for everybody that's got this darn thing. We should just let's just all send white light and healing to everybody that's suffering with this thing right now.
Especially these babies. Oh my goodness.
Especially the babies. I see angels around this baby.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I think this baby's quite sick, but I see angels around him.
Oh.
Did they say this baby was in the ICU?
Anybody know?
It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
He was a preemie. He was a preemie, so his immune system wasn't very strong. So even though he's 2, he was, once a preemie, always a preemie.
This is a test for me, you guys. It's a real test.
It is.
Because I just want to be a little bit angry. And it doesn't help to be angry at anybody right now. It just doesn't. It just backs us up. So
I know.
You have to just let it go and be in prayer. If you want to be angry, be in prayer.
Yeah. Trying times for spiritual people, because we don't want to be angry, but sometimes we are human,
Oh, I'm human.
Yeah. Okay. This is a question actually that we asked this person to come back this week and give us. And it was from Shannon, and her dad, Larry, had just died last week. And we said, could you give us a week, or him a week? And so she's asking, she said they had complicated relationship, and that she'd wondered if he can say anything to her and her brother, Mike.
Okay.
Name's Larry. Sorry.
For one thing, I'm getting chill bumps. And I'm emotional. I have tears in my eyes. He's saying first of all, he's saying he's fine. Everything is fine. He's fine. But he also wants to say he's sorry. I think he feels like he made a mess of something. I kind of got that impression, like that kind of impression, like, I'm kind of sorry. I'm sorry about that. I kind of didn't, he'd have done it differently had he known what he knows now. But really, he's almost making me cry. Like, I'm literally tearing up. Terri, are you getting anything, dear, or Allie?
Yes, I am. I'm also sensing that he is really sad about what he did, or what messing up this relationship. But I see him not so much as a person. He's showing me this skyscraper that's almost like a church at the top, and it's very dark, but inside there's glowing orange and yellow, and it's almost like he's inside this building being healed, and he has regrets about how he handled that, but he's healing, and he feels love, and the building stained glass windowy thing. I mean, it's a strong impression. So I don't know if that is over there or over here, or he was a builder, or I don't know. But there you go.
I was seeing him also very sad with his head down and just, contemplating what happened. And now that he's in a different place, he has shifted and his head is up and he's seeing things for what they are or were. And he's kind of ashamed about it. And yet he's in the all-knowing state now, and he absolutely, wants you. He loves you. It was never about love. It was never, ever about love. He always has loved you. Always has loved you both. I got the chills now.
What was her name? What was her name again?
Oh,
Shannon.
her
Shannon?
name is Shannon. Yes, and her brother Mike. Yeah.
Shannon, another something that's kind of coming to me is, I loved my mom, but she was kind of an abusive person. And basically over there, she, because I was kind of a little bit afraid to interact with her, although she wasn't afraid to interact with me. She interacted a lot. But she's divine over there. She's her divine self. And that heals me. It heals me to imagine her as divine, that she is healed and whole over there. And even though he's feeling regret, maybe it will help you to imagine him as divine now. He's his whole self now.
That's beautiful, Terri. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what a card.
I know. I mean, it's just going up too. It's beautiful.
And mine was going up that tall, tall building.
Right. With the orangey red, the emotions, right?
And there's orange.
Ah.
Yeah. She's frozen a little bit there, Allie. While Allie's frozen, I'm going to take a moment to say hey to Jen's World. Tarot is in the house.
Hey, Jen. All right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Harry's mom. That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. It just seemed messy, like some things were left messier than he made a mess. I just keep hearing him say, I made a mess of things. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Get yourself a drink. Good idea, lady. I'm glad you have that with you. Got to stay hydrated,
Yep.
The next one is from Laurel, and she says, do I have any spiritual gifts? And do you see a job or a hobby where I could best use them?
I love that question.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, let's all 1, 2, 3 say what we think. 1, 2, 3.
I don't see anything.
Creativity.
I see it. I see it. She has gifts. Yes.
Yeah.
To me, the minute she asked the question, what was that, Terri?
I said, I didn't see anything in particular, but the second she answered the question, I got, of course.
Yeah, yes. Okay, right. So we all three got yes. So now, I'm sorry, Allie. What's her name again? I'm not so sharp today.
Her name's Laurel.
Laurel. Okay,
Yeah.
let's focus on Laurel's name and tune in. And of course, we've got all these amazing psychics in the chat. So you guys chat away too. So Laurel, what are your gifts?
Oh, wow.
Love that. What do you got there?
I'm seeing a rose.
Oh, great.
I'm seeing a yellow rose, one of the, not a true yellow one, the ones that get very light and then kind of fade to pink in the middle. And there's gifts attached all over the face of this rose, and it's a very large rose. And I can't really see the stem, which that's all right with me. But the gifts, let's say, what are the gifts? Show me the gifts. Ooh. Well, you got patience.
Core. Good.
I don't know if that's quite a gift.
What about clairsentience? You know?
I just see here she's talking about a rose, and in this card, look at the middle where
Yeah,
the
it looks
heart
like a
is.
darn rose.
Looks like a rose. Yeah, it
And
does.
there's all this stuff coming out of her heart chakra, right? I
Oh
mean,
my
and
God.
look at the head. Look at the crown chakra. Lower it down a little bit, Allie. Yeah, like the stuff is shooting out of her head. I think
Yeah,
she has a lot of the clairs. Clairsentience,
she does.
claircognizance, which is clair feeling, clair knowing, clairvoyance, which is clair seeing. Girlfriend, you've got all kind of gifts.
Yeah, and there's a lot of little gift boxes on this rose. So
There
I'm
is.
sure all the clairs.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Lisa Yeager thinks culinary talents, perhaps. Yeah. You know, anything that feeds the soul. And so it's very possible that you know, you're just going you're once you're accepted, you'll open up and your gifts will be very evident to you, and how you can use them will come. It just takes time to figure it out.
Again.
Oh, isn't it wonderful?
card
I mean, these cards. Yeah.
She's
It's
got her
core.
hand on her stomach.
And
she's gonna
her-
have a gut knowing.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
She's got gut.
Terri?
Yeah.
Exactly.
These cards are very powerful, I believe. I really do. Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. Very
Yeah,
good.
Jennifer got clairalience, which is smelling. I think she's got all the gifts. And how do we learn if we have gifts? Validation. Join a
Right.
class where you can be one-on-one on a, where you go into a breakout room, or get a friend and just practice. Get a friend and say, I'm just going to read for you. No cards. I'm just going to tune into you. I'm going to look at you and say, okay, if your name is Alice, okay, Alice, what am I getting? There's so many ways you can do this. You practice.
And somebody asked earlier in the chat, you know, where do I go to find these classes? And so check in with Susan. You can email Susan Lynn. You can email Medium Kim. They have a current class, but they try to have one probably maybe once a month. I don't know, Susan, once every other month.
We have another one. Yeah. We're going to do another one on all the clairs. It was really popular. So my email is susanlynnmedium@gmail.com. susanlynnmedium@gmail.com. Or you can go to my channel and, get the email from there too. Yeah.
I really think that we all have these abilities, but we do have to realize it and develop them. And the classes are really the best way to do that. It's very, very helpful to have people to practice with. So that's great. All right. The next question is from Anita Fonte. And actually, she tried to ask this one last week, but I'm not taking questions in the chat. Please remember to put your questions on my community board. I also check Susan's community board to see if there are questions there that we might be able to use. Cool. So
yeah, and Anita Fonte is here. She just got here.
She just got here. There you go. So last week she said that in Hawaii she kept seeing 777, the numbers. She Googled it. And she got 4 messages from spirit guides. She says that also a New York City swim instructor had a necklace with that number on it. Are the guides trying to talk to her? What does it mean? That's what she'd like to know.
Hi, Lorraine. We're not taking questions from the chat. Put it in the community page on Allie's page, and then we'll get it the next week, because it was just too hard to do the reading and get the things from the chat. So everybody put your questions in the community page for Allie for my show, and she'll answer it. Terri, are you getting anything?
I was getting that, they're just reminding her that they're there, that she should commune with them in spirit. And then I got this weird, I don't know what this means. This is just weird. But I'm seeing the sevens on a beach in, like, I don't know if it's Hawaii, but they're on a beach at the ocean and they're kind of dug into the sand like they're sunning themselves. So I'm not sure what that means.
Awesome.
Maybe it means something to her.
That's right. Exactly. I get completion. For some reason, I feel there's a completion that's happened. Success and completion. What do you get, Allie?
7 is a spiritual number. It's always been, and you're multiplying that times 3. Boom, 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 big. It brings you hope for anything that you're feeling hopeless about. And the other card I got, which is another gorgeous card, efficiency.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. She's being very efficient. She's holding on to her own energies. So I think that the ladies are right, that there's some sort of a spiritual thing going on. And now you need to take a rest and being on the beach in Hawaii, digging in with the sevens. Yeah, there you go. You're welcome, Anita. You're welcome. I love that.
And can we come with you when you go to Hawaii?
Right. We'd be happy to.
We need to dig into the sand too.
What's that? Oh,
I
get in the
dig
sand.
into the sand too.
Me too. Yeah. Yep. Okay, this is from Honey Brown 24, but her name is Sean Roberts. I don't know. Do you have a message from Mom Patricia for me and my family, or from my guides? Whatever one you can reach.
Honey Brown, are you here? Are you in this chat? Because I find your mom came right in, but I want to make sure it's your mom. I don't know if I see you. Okay. If you're here, come out and tell us you're here. So I know some people just watch and don't. Oh, there you are. Okay, you're here and you're female. Honey Brown, let me know if this is your mom, because this is the first picture that your mom, this person just literally popped right in. She seems small frame, like not heavy and not tall. I wouldn't say, she might be 5'6", but she's not like, I'm not even sure if she's 5. She might 5'5" to 5'6". Anyway, her height, weight proportionate, shorter, dark hair. And she seems to be in the kitchen. I feel like she's holding something.
I got cooking too. I see her holding a rolling pin.
Okay, she's in the kitchen doing something. Does that make any sense? Because if it does, we'll continue down that road. Yes, okay, she's 5'6". Okay, how about the cooking? Did you see her? And does she have dark brown hair or black hair? If that doesn't make any sense, we're halfway there anyway. We got the height right. I'm
getting that
they did cook together.
Lady.
Okay, they did cook together. Okay, so then that's validating, saying that this is something you shared memory. This is something you did with her, so she knew that you would immediately know it was her, right? They're giving me chills. Getting anything else, Terry? How about you, Allie?
I pulled 2 cards, one from each deck. I just felt like I needed to, and it's from her guides. And the first one is fragments. You're getting fragments from your guides of wisdom. Look at the owl. So your guides are saying, we're giving you fragments at first just to get you going here. Right. But take it as wisdom and, continue on with it. That's what I got. Yeah.
Great.
I would agree with that. Probably when you were doing things together, she was laying down some wisdom on you.
Laying down some wisdom. I agree. And she sends her love. She misses you. She loves you. She is very proud of you. I think your mom could be a little bit like not suffer fools well or something. You know what I mean? Like, I think she could be a little bit. Yeah, perfect. That's what Allie's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like she's a formidable lady, that she
could be.
Rules the roost in the head where she's at right now. Yeah.
Yep. I need to put this up because you are just, you're smoking hot today, and all of your classmates are so proud of you, and so are
good.
we. Yeah, you're doing really well, Terri. Yeah,
Oh, thank
very
you.
well.
I'm so glad they said they would come and watch, and I'm glad I want them to do it. Somebody has to try as well.
Yes.
Look what Visual Arts Lawson said. Love you, Terri. You're doing great. Like I knew you would. You go, girl. When you practice, your gifts shine through.
Oh, cool.
There you go. It's
Thank
so
you.
nice. And maybe giving, not everybody wants to be on YouTube or whatever, but
Right.
if you were worried about it, then you don't need to really worry. It just seems to come, doesn't it? Doesn't it
Yeah.
seem to come? Yeah.
Well, I even noticed in class when we would go to a one-on-one, at first I would worry. I'd be trying to get in with them, get our hearts to heart,
Allie.
and as long as I was worried, I'm like, oh my God, I'm quiet too long. What are they going to think? What if nothing happens? But the second I let that away, like, okay, it's okay if nothing happens. You can just say nothing's happening. It's okay. And relax, take a breath, and then something happens.
Boom.
Yeah.
And look, Honey Brown just said, yes, that is her. Yeah. So your mama, so the reason I said that she's a serious person is because I want you, I mean, you know this, but she really means it. When she says she's proud of you, she means she's proud of you. I mean, this is a fierce person. I mean, she's like the mama bear, right? Like she would protect her babies. But at the same time, she would be the first that in private to knock you in your head and tell you was acting silly. But she's very proud of you. She loves you. She misses you. Everything's going to be okay. She's okay. Something about grandma. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that she came through for you, dear. She loves you. Very proud.
Okay. The next one is from D. Brown, D-E-E. D.E. Brown. Her mother, Mary Rogers, died when she was 3. I know you can relate to this, Susan. She's now 58. She says she's had visits from everybody else that's passed over, but not Mom. And she wonders, does she have a message or why won't she come through?
So I'm going to say something just right off the bat that my mom died when I was 7 and I was 40 plus before she came through. And even then it was really cryptic. Like I didn't understand. Like she said her first words to me were not that I'm sorry I had to go. I love you. And I'm sorry you had to live your life without me. Her first words were, you understand I had to make some hard decisions. I'm like, what? That's a very adult thing to say, right? Like I don't know what your hard decisions were because I was 7. For your mom, what I find is the longer they're crossed over, the kind of further away they are sometimes. Like it's just as if they're a little bit further away instead of like being right here with me. But go ahead. Are you getting something, Terri?
I'm getting, and I'm going out on a limb here, that she will contact you. She's been pretty busy, but she also felt like you were strong enough that she didn't need to necessarily come over there and take care of you all the, I'm seeing my grandmother, my horse grandmother, my country grandma, and she was somebody I dearly, dearly loved, and she didn't come to me until about 2 months ago, and even then we still didn't talk. She wasn't that talkative. We went on a horse ride. I rode my dead horse. Yeah, it was fun. And the other thing, another time, a person that had crossed over a long, long time and hadn't talked to me, now it's completely gone out of my mind, sorry. But be prepared that she might contact you in a very unusual way. It'll probably be in a dream. Be ready to go with it, because it might be different. Oh, now I remember it. My sister just had the sister that doesn't know she's a medium just had a contact from my grandfather who she dearly loved. She ugly cried and snorted her way through this contact through the dream. Finally snorted so loud she woke herself up out of the dream, but he had already reincarnated in another life. He didn't even look the same, and yet when he wrapped his arms around her, she knew who he was. And she
That's beautiful.
snorted, ugly, cried a lot more.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
be prepared that this could be anything.
That's a good point. I feel like if I can bring her in a bit, just because I feel like we need to bring her in. That's interesting. Because she's saying I had a hard life too. Oh my God, I hope you can confirm that. Maybe that's why they made me think of my mother and tell you that, and why Terri. You know, they show us our own examples because those are metaphors that also will work for you. But anyway, she's saying that she loves you, she misses you. She's showing me her holding you, you know, in her arms. She's showing me that. She's showing me her looking at you late at night when you know, like you had woken up in the middle of the night and she's and the whole house is quiet and it's dark and she's just holding you and gazing at you. It's almost as if she knew, you know, that she wasn't going to spend her whole life with you. She didn't know this so consciously, but subconsciously she knew that, and she was just sort of drinking you in, and I'm getting chills again, and feeling you in her arms, like trying to imprint this memory in her body, right? Which I think is very beautiful. That's a very beautiful thing. I don't know about the hard life. I don't know what that was in reference to, but I feel like things were topsy turvy when you were born for her and the family.
Wow.
Hopefully that's a healing message. I certainly think that was a beautiful message. I hope that was healing for you. Allie, anybody?
Well, I first want to say that my mother has never really come through, and she's been gone since 1988. And I always feel her around me, but I've never, and you know, I was 33, so it wasn't like I was a little kid. But I one day was walking out of my bathroom that had a big mirror, and I, out of the corner of my eye was my mother in the mirror. Except I looked again and it was me, and I knew exactly what it was. It was, I will always be part of you. You are there. So Susan, this is gonna blow your mind. If you haven't watched Susan's last video that she did yesterday, please run over there and do that, because I got discernment.
Oh God.
Oh,
And I think that this might be a message to Dee that she was trying to figure out. She had to discern the way to come to you, the way that, you know, that you would understand. Because when you're 3 years old, you don't know what your mother's personality is. You don't know really, you don't have any recollection of her, probably, unless you had videos, and you probably didn't have that. So she wanted to use discernment. So today was the day that she wanted to make an appearance, I guess. Susan found her.
You're so right.
And
Look,
Terri.
Lee Brown. Look what she put in the comments.
Oh, wow.
yikes.
And that's discernment. And that's exactly what you're
That is
talking about.
discernment.
She
Yes.
didn't know how to discern. Y'all, this discernment, I don't even want to talk about it right now because it's kicking my butt, like literally, but we are all gonna have like a workshop together on this thing. And I'm trying to figure it out. And it's, you know, it's tough. But
Yep.
yes, discernment. So yes, that was her. She was holding you in the dream, and she told me about it so that you could know that that dream was her. Your mother came to you in a dream, which is exactly what Terri said. So all three of us, pat yourselves on the back, ladies. We're getting it done over here.
There we go.
The spiritual switchboard is open.
Okay, some of these are from Susan's board where she had people write some questions they wanted answered, and so I pulled a few of them. That's all.
That's fine.
The first one was from Squadio Data MJ. Okay. And she has asked us before on the chat, but we've never been able to get to it.
I'm
She
sorry.
had two high school teachers, one named
That's a great
Eleanor
question.
and one named Paul. You remember seeing that?
Yeah, this is a great question. Go ahead.
They died in the 70s. Are they part of spiritual guidance as I move through life? They helped her with all her teenage angst, she says.
Oh my God. I see them high-fiving each other, the two teachers. They're like, we did it. We did a good job.
You're still getting it done on the other side.
Oh, wow. This kind of hits me in the feels because I had a high school teacher pass on, and he came and talked to me deliberately. I mean, he stopped within 2 weeks of his passing on, he came with a message for me. So this is wow. The message was try to be nicer. Be nice to the next
to you
teacher.
was trying to be nicer.
Well, the next teacher was very sexist, and this teacher that I had was not sexist, and he knew I'd fight.
Right.
And yeah, but oh, I loved him so much. And these teachers love you, proud of you, high-fiving themselves and giving themselves pats on the back. They're quite happy. Wow.
And they have followed you your whole life. They have followed you. I feel like there's a handful of students, maybe 10 to 20 that impacted that, maybe 10, I don't know. But they follow all of you. You're one of them. They follow you. They know about everything. They could tell you they were there for all the big moments, cheering you on.
So one of my mentors to want to be a professor was this Dr. Dow that I had at my undergraduate college. And he passed about 10 years ago, I believe, or something like that. And just 2 days ago, I got the message that it's been 10 years since he passed. You know, the thing you write on to say what you think, that legacy thing. And every time I see his name, every time I think about him, it just makes me feel so good because I'm crazy in the classroom and he was too. He talked about precipitation and all this. It made everybody really interested. So he's my inspiration. And so these teachers continue to hold space for you and they look over you. Yeah, they love you dearly. And as a teacher who loves her students, I can only tell you that each and every one of them hold a very dear place in my heart, and I keep in contact with them as much as I can, and will continue to do so, I promise, when I go. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Sherry, our friend Sherry from Louisiana, who are her spirit guides and what are her gifts? Where does she start?
Does Sherry have a last name? No? Okay. From Louisiana. I just know so many Sherrys now.
If that helps, the pronunciation is Shari, which is different. Yeah.
What do I see? I don't know why I see crocheting. I swear. But I think it's a metaphor for something else. They're talking about something.
Weaving through the fabrics of life. That's what I got.
Yeah, right.
For some reason, I got smudging. I can just see this smudge, like they're smudging her. Of course, everybody has spirit guides, but I just see them. I don't know. Maybe she's supposed to develop sage bundles and sell them. I don't know, but there's She's getting smudged. That's what I got.
But that's cleansing. Could that also mean that she's being prepared?
I kind of got that feeling that it's more about being prepared, being cleansed, they're just kind of going up and down her body. And there's like darkness, but the darkness is being moved out by the lightness of the flames and smoke of the smudge.
So where do you see this one?
Okay.
Surface. All of her gifts are starting to surface.
Ooh.
Wow.
Look at that. Blooming on the Yep.
Yeah,
all her
that
gifts
is
are starting. I know.
Okay, well they're smudging you and blessing you and
Yep.
And you're preparing. You're coming to the surface, right? You're preparing. Right. I don't know if sometimes they don't want to tell you exactly the thing because they want you to sort of figure it out. If they tell you exactly the thing, you could actually rebel against it. I mean, they don't always tell me things because I typically will be like, no, and run the other direction. But they're preparing you. Let's put it that way. You do have gifts. You're being prepared, and it's going to come to you. It'll be obvious. It'll be you'll know.
Okay, ladies, we have 2 more questions, and then we'll be finished for this week. And I love this question. The next 2, I just felt like I wanted us to read on it. Rebecca Cole asks, what are we preparing for as psychics? What is it that we're preparing for?
That's one of my favorite questions. I'm going to let Terri have a second. And I'm going to tell you what the guides told me. All I can tell you is that about 3 years ago, roughly, when I had this crazy ascension symptoms and things were going nuts, they told me that we were sort of like, there would be waves. Okay. So I was on this wave and maybe you're on this wave and maybe you're on that wave. And the waves of people that are waking up and coming online as psychics and mediums and whatever we are, healers, there's a couple of reasons. One is that the veil is thinning and they need us. People are going to be seeking psychics and healers and mediums because it's going to become more every day. It's going to be, we are going to be needed, sought after. We need, when I say, how many do you need? They say all of you. We need all of you. And then secondly, the reason is because I always tell y'all, Bubba is going to walk into the kitchen. He's going to see his dead grandma at the counter making biscuits, and he's going to have a heart attack. And he's going to be looking for someone to explain what just happened. And he's going to call us. Also, ETs and aliens, all this stuff is going to start happening more and more and more. Referenced my video yesterday. And we are the people to explain this. They need calm, level-headed, rational, and people of the light to explain these things to the general public. That's why they need all of us online. What did you guys get?
Well, if I could answer this question, I feel like I just won $1 million. But they keep telling that's what happened to me. They're like, get ready. We need you. We need you. You and Susan, you read me once and you said the same thing. They need you. They need you now. That's why I got fired. And
sorry.
I'm seeing a sunrise. I'm seeing a sunrise. That something's happening. I don't know what, but sunrise is some new thing is dawning, and we got to be ready. And I'm just going to trust they need me. I don't know why exactly, but I see a sunrise, and we're all needed to help people. And what you say, Susan, really resonates with me. It really resonates.
Okay, I was once again pulled to draw 2 cards from 2 different decks. The first one was both of them are This one is reclaiming power. We need to reclaim our own power and not be, doormats or whatever it is. And so we're reclaiming our power and we're empowering other people when we do. because of it. It's a time of rediscovery. Look at the child. Beautiful child. So, we are reclaiming power. We are rediscovering who we are, why we're here, what we were meant to do, not just to sit on the couch, drink beer, and fart. So, it's important for us to.
Don't talk bad about Bubba.
Sorry, Bubba. Okay.
I don't know. One time I pulled a card and they said, it was basically, don't waste any time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Okay. This last one is from Equus 3333. Last week, apparently, and I believe it's a she pulled out and almost pulled out in front of a truck. Okay. She heard you missed one of many possible exit dates. That's what she heard in her mind. She was all by herself. She wonders who that was.
Oh, Susan.
What?
The time travel thing.
Oh, the time travel. Do you think it's the time travel thing? Tell me. Come on.
Oh, wow. She just had I feel like she just had a teeny tiny time travel thing there where she could have time traveled right there, or she was shown an exit point and she might have just traveled across the exit point. And Susan probably is not going to remind this, but I had a couple time travel things that I had to discuss with her because it was the same thing where I was in an auto thing, and then I realized I saw it from two different I had experienced it two different ways, and I didn't know what was real. Wow. So I think wow. All I'm going to say is the advice Susan gave to me. You got to be careful. You can pop out of your body. Now stay grounded, okay? Don't just pop out anywhere. And I willy-nilly pop out, so I've been trying to stay grounded.
Are you the one that pops out of your head and they say be careful and they push you back in? Have they ever told you that? I had a client that would pop out of her head and they would say no, be careful, and they push her back in.
Yeah, no, that's not me, but that happened in a meditation with you in the class once. Yeah.
Oh,
that's not me, but it happened.
Okay, so it did happen to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't say anything about it. So.
Well, yeah. It's okay to pop out. We just have to understand that we popped out. Like, you have to be intentional. Like, if you do it accidentally, I think.
I just don't want to pop out when I'm. I don't want to pop out when I'm driving.
No. So it's interesting. It's interesting that Terri sees it as time travel. Like, okay, I just want to ask a question about that. So you see her potentially this exit point crossing over, like dying, crossing over, or crossing over and then going to a different timeline. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Dying is crossing over to a different timeline. What do you think, Allie?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that if to Terri, and I held up my dark crystals, the hematite, the labradorite that pulls you in. Keep yourself grounded when you're driving, please. Okay, every other time is fine.
I got the labradorite and the rhodolite for joy.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. But you want to stay grounded. If you want to go flying, you can wear the other side, which I did, which is the pinks and angelite and some of this one, seraphinite. Lovely. Anyway, I find it very fascinating, but not too ironic, that I pulled the horse card for Equus. Wildly free.
Wow.
I know. And I'm feeling like, well, you are wildly free to go whenever you want. But it looks like you, at the split second, you changed your mind and decided that this time. So I'm just saying your higher self probably just said that, or one of your guides said it to you, And, but like Susan and Terri said, you don't want to pop out if you don't want to really go, or pop out in a very safe area. So interesting.
And Janet P is asking, do we choose our time to cross? So another thing that this reminded me of when Equus asked this question is, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong. This is just my understanding that we have multiple exit times, right? So we could exit. It's just like exits off a freeway. Well, usually they show me a tree with branches, but anyway, if you don't choose to take that exit, you may live a few more years or 20 more years or whatever. They're just exit points where you could exit, you know?
The other thing I want to say is that sometimes if people choose to exit, there's a theory that people can come into take over their bodies, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's called a walk-in. And I had several people that I knew that were really discouraged about life, and all of a sudden in a couple of weeks they were like totally different. And the only thing that explains some of that could be possibly a walk-in experience, but again, we don't know that for sure. So yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Very interesting. And did you see that Aspie said that she twice in one day while ironing, where she stood outside of herself, she's saying, popped outside of herself and stood next to herself when washing dishes. Her soul was like, this is so boring. How do you expect me to put up with this? You know what I mean? It just goes over to the side. You want to talk about a cheeky soul? No, that's a cheeky
I know.
Soul right there.
That's when you got to say, I'm standing here beside myself. What are you seeing? Yeah.
Man,
awesome.
Your soul's not going to put up with anything. Let me tell you.
I think that I think that we choose our parents, Patricia, and I think that we choose our situation and the time we come in. So if we do, we in fact probably also choose our death. But they don't want you to know that because, we have depressing times and we don't need to check out any sooner than needed. Yeah.
I mean, we're already having an existential crisis. The whole planet, and specifically the Earth. Like, why are we alive if we could get this virus or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they want us to live and be happy and be joyful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You see,
tremendous readings, ladies. Thank you. And thank you, Terri. You're fabulous. You just keep going, girl. You are wonderful.
Come back anytime, right? Right, Allie? Yeah, we have fun over here. It's fun. We do. We tried to tell you guys it's fun. Wasn't it fun, Terri?
It was fun. I was surprised that I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to do it the whole time. And I was surprised.
There you go.
And it was fun. All of my classmates, it's fun. And of course, you got 2 people here that can help you. So do it.
Yeah. And Susan is like a lightning rod or whatever you want to call it. She brings in these people, and then I start to see what she sees, and it's amazing. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Terri. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great Sunday.
Have a great week, everyone.
Nice for yourself. Do something nice for yourself.
That's right. Love yourself, and also remember, every day, in every way, you're getting better, better, better. Love you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.